Before we start, listen carefully. There is a version of you, stronger, calmer, sharper, waiting on the other side of this audiobook. But you will only meet that version the moment you stop reacting to everything around you. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Most people are not tired. They are drained. Not because life is too hard, but because they react to every comment, every opinion, every small inconvenience. They give away their peace, piece by piece, until nothing is left. But you're about to learn something different, something powerful, something dangerous. You're about to learn how to stay unbothered in a world built on noise, how to move with quiet strength, how to speak less, feel more grounded, and walk with the kind of presence that makes people notice you without you asking for attention. This audiobook isn't about motivation. It's about transformation. It's about rewiring the way you think, the way you respond, and most importantly, the way you carry yourself. And before we continue, take 1 second and subscribe to the channel, not just to support the video, but so this message reaches more people who need it, and so you never miss a chapter that can shift your mindset forever. Now, breathe. Let everything around you fade out. This is your moment, your reset, your beginning. Welcome to the journey of becoming unshakable. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop explaining yourself. One of the fastest ways people drain their confidence is by constantly explaining themselves. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself giving long, unnecessary explanations just so people wouldn't judge you? Maybe you were late, and instead of simply saying, "Thank you for waiting," you launched into a 5-minute story about traffic, your alarm, and your dead phone. Or maybe someone questioned one of your decisions, and you felt the need to justify every detail just to feel understood. Here's the truth. Confident people don't do that. They don't live in apology mode. They don't scramble to prove themselves to everyone. Why? Because they know their worth is not up for debate. When you stop over-explaining yourself, you instantly project strength. Your words carry more weight. Your presence commands more respect. Now, this doesn't mean you become rude or dismissive. This isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing when to keep it short, clear, and firm. Instead of justifying every move, you learn to stand by your choices. If someone asks why you're doing something, you don't owe them an essay. A simple, confident response is enough. I chose this because it's right for me. Then you stop. No over-explaining, no backpedaling, just calm certainty. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you send a silent message. I need your approval to feel okay. But every time you keep it short and let your choice stand on its own, you send a louder message. I don't need your permission. Here's a challenge for the next week. Catch yourself in the act. The moment you start piling on excuses or long explanations, stop. Replace them with something simple, firm, and direct. I can't make it. I've decided to go this way. That doesn't work for me. Then be silent. Let the silence carry the weight of your confidence. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. You'll feel the urge to fill the space, to justify, to soften your words. But with practice, you'll discover something life-changing. The less you explain, the stronger you feel. People begin to take you more seriously. And most importantly, you begin to take yourself more seriously. Dangerous confidence begins with this small but powerful shift. Stop over-explaining. Stop over-justifying. Trust your choices. Stand by your words. The moment you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone, you've already taken your first step toward becoming untouchable. Chapter 2. Master your inner voice. If you want to become dangerously confident, you have to start with the voice that speaks to you the most, the one inside your own head. That voice is either your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. It's either building you up or tearing you down. And here's what most people never realize. The way you speak to yourself in private eventually shows up in how you show up in public. Think about it. If your inner voice is constantly saying, "I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. People are probably judging me," how do you think you'll act when you walk into a room? Nervous, hesitant, small. But if your inner voice says, "I can handle this. I've done harder things before. I'm exactly where I need to be," you walk into that same room taller, calmer, sharper. Same person, different voice. And that difference changes everything. Confidence doesn't start with applause, achievements, or attention. It starts in your mind, with the words you allow to echo inside your head. You can't control what everyone says about you, but you can control what you repeat to yourself every day. The mistake people make is waiting for life to validate them before they change that inner voice. They think, "Once I succeed, I'll feel confident. Once people respect me, I'll talk to myself better." But it works the other way around. You don't wait for proof. You create proof. You start speaking to yourself like someone worthy of respect. And then your actions begin to follow that belief. Here's the secret. Your brain believes repetition. Whatever you repeat to yourself becomes your truth. Say you're weak long enough, and you'll shrink into weakness. Say you're capable, strong, and calm long enough, and you'll rise to meet those words. The inner voice is like a thermostat. It sets the temperature of your confidence. If it's set low, you will always sink back down, no matter how much outside success you taste. If it's set high, you'll rise above challenges because you believe you belong at that level. So how do you master this inner voice? Start by catching it in the act. Pay attention to the quiet lines you whisper to yourself during the day. When you mess up, do you say, "I'm so stupid," or "That's okay, I'll do better next time"? When you look in the mirror, do you hunt for every flaw, or do you remind yourself, "I'm showing up, I'm improving, I'm worthy"? These small moments shape everything. The goal isn't fake positivity. You don't have to tell yourself you're perfect. Dangerous confidence isn't about lying to yourself. It's about speaking with strength, even when things aren't perfect. It's about choosing words that build, not words that destroy. Instead of, "I can't handle this," you say, "This is hard, but I'll figure it out." Instead of, "I always fail," you say, "Every setback teaches me something that makes me stronger." When you start directing your inner voice instead of letting it run wild, you'll notice something powerful. You'll stop reacting so harshly to challenges, criticism, and rejection. Why? Because your mind is already trained to back you up. It becomes your strongest ally instead of your worst critic. Here's a challenge. For the next 30 days, every morning, say 3 lines out loud. "I respect myself. I can handle anything that comes today. I don't need anyone's approval to move forward." It may feel awkward at first, but say those lines every day and watch how your body starts to carry them. Watch how your energy changes in conversations. Watch how you walk into situations differently. Your inner voice is the foundation of your confidence. Master it. And you won't just appear confident. You'll feel it in your bones. And once you feel it, no one can take it from you. Confidence isn't what happens when others believe in you. Confidence is what happens when you believe in yourself first. And that belief begins with the voice inside your head. Chapter 3. Build respect before confidence. Every kind of lasting confidence starts with one simple truth. You cannot feel powerful if you don't respect yourself first. Respect is the foundation. Without it, confidence is nothing more than an act, a mask you wear to convince others, while deep down you're still unsure. But when you build real self-respect, confidence stops being an act. It becomes who you are. Think about how you treat people you respect. You listen to them. You value their time. You trust their decisions. Now ask yourself honestly, do you treat yourself the same way? Or do you cut yourself down with criticism, ignore your needs, and allow people to cross your boundaries because deep down you don't see yourself as worthy? The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how the world treats you. If you disrespect your own time, others will too. If you speak poorly to yourself, you'll tolerate others speaking to you the same way. But when you start showing yourself respect, when you hold yourself to a higher standard, people around you sense it. They respond differently. That is where dangerous confidence begins to take shape. Self-respect doesn't come from big achievements. It comes from small, daily choices that tell your mind, I matter. Keeping promises to yourself. Following through when you say you'll do something. Not settling for situations that go against your values. Each act of respect you show yourself builds strength inside you. When you wake up early because you said you would, that's respect. When you walk away from a toxic conversation instead of trying to win approval, that's respect. When you set a boundary and hold it, that's respect. These choices may look small from the outside, but together they create a deep, unshakable feeling that you can trust yourself. Once you trust yourself, confidence flows naturally. Here's the key. Respect yourself first, and the world has no choice but to adjust. You no longer beg for recognition. You no longer explain or prove your worth. You know it, and because you know it, others see it. So if you want to build confidence that lasts, don't start with fake pep talks. Start with respect. Start with the way you talk to yourself, the way you carry yourself, and the way you hold yourself to a higher standard. Confidence without respect is empty, but respect practiced every day will eventually overflow into confidence so strong it cannot be broken. And once you've built that, no one can take it away. Chapter 4. Kill the need for approval. One of the biggest traps that steals confidence is the constant need for approval. That itch inside that keeps asking, do they like me? Do they agree with me? Am I good enough in their eyes? It's subtle, but it controls so many lives. People dress not for themselves, but for what others might say. They post on social media not to share, but to be validated. They chase compliments, avoid criticism, and feel crushed when someone doesn't clap for them. Here's the problem. When your confidence depends on approval, it will always be fragile, because approval can be given and approval can be taken away. One moment people are cheering for you, the next they're criticizing you. If your self-worth rises and falls with their reactions, you'll live like a puppet pulled by strings you do not control. The truth is, no one in this world owes you approval, and no one's opinion should have the power to define you. When you kill the need for approval, you free yourself. You stop chasing applause and start focusing on authenticity. You stop bending your life to fit other people's expectations and start building a life that feels right to you. That's where dangerous confidence comes from. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who try to please everyone, or the ones who stand firm, even when people disagree? It's always the second group. Real strength is not in being liked by all. It's in being respected for standing true. There's nothing wrong with enjoying praise. There's nothing wrong with feeling happy when someone appreciates your work. The problem begins when you need it, when you depend on it to feel valuable. The moment you depend on it, you hand over your power. You give other people the remote control to your emotions, and people change channels fast. So how do you kill this need? Start small. Practice saying no without explaining. Practice making decisions based on what you know is right for you, even if others won't understand. Remind yourself daily, their approval is optional. My self-respect is not. At first, some people won't like it. They may call you arrogant, selfish, or stubborn. But stay steady. In time, those same people will respect you more than they ever did when you were bending for their acceptance. Why? Because people may enjoy it when you seek their approval, but they admire it when you don't need it. Dangerous confidence is born when you walk into a room and you're not thinking, will they like me? Instead you think, do I respect myself in how I'm showing up here? That shift changes everything. You move from performer to leader. The world doesn't need another person begging for likes, chasing applause, or waiting for permission. The world respects the person who doesn't need any of it. The one who moves forward with or without approval. The one who lives as though they already have everything they need inside. That can be you. The day you stop chasing approval is the day you step into a new kind of freedom. You stop reacting to every comment, every look, every bit of criticism. You start living on your own terms. That's when people notice you, not because you ask them to, but because they can't ignore someone who doesn't need their validation. And that is dangerous confidence. Chapter 5. Respond with silence, not emotion. One of the greatest signs of confidence is not how loud you can be, but how quiet you can remain. Most people believe strength is about having the last word, about showing everyone how sharp or clever they are. But true strength is often the opposite. It's the ability to stay calm, stay silent, and not be pulled into every emotional battle. How often do people lose their power because they couldn't keep quiet? Someone criticizes them and they snap back. Someone disrespects them and they explode. Someone challenges them and they rush to defend themselves. In that moment, they think they're showing strength, but really, they're showing that their emotions are in control. And when your emotions control you, your power is gone. Silence, on the other hand, is disarming. When people expect a reaction and you give them nothing, they don't know how to handle it. They push and you don't move. They attack and you stay steady. That's what makes silence powerful. It shows that you are not easily shaken, that you cannot be manipulated. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It means you choose your responses carefully. You refuse to waste energy on pointless battles. When you respond with silence instead of raw emotion, you buy yourself time to think. You give yourself space to decide if the situation even deserves your attention. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. Maybe they insult you in front of others, expecting you to blow up. Most people take the bait. But if you stay calm, if you look at them and simply choose silence, suddenly the spotlight shifts. They start to look foolish, not you, because you've shown that their words didn't penetrate. You've shown that you are in control. Silence not only protects your power, it also makes your words stronger when you finally choose to speak. If you speak less but with calm authority, people listen. They know you don't waste words. They know that if you're speaking, it matters. That's how leaders talk. That's how confident people carry themselves. Practice this. Notice your triggers. When criticism comes, when someone mocks, when someone tries to drag you into drama, pause. Don't rush to react. Breathe. Let silence do the work for you. 9 times out of 10, you'll realize you don't need to respond at all. And in the rare times you do, your response will come from strength, not impulse. You don't owe everyone a reaction. You don't have to defend yourself every time someone questions you. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is nothing at all. Silence is not empty. It's full of power. The person who reacts emotionally is predictable and easy to control. The person who can stay silent, calm, and unbothered, that person is dangerous because you can't push them around. You can't get under their skin. You can't break their focus. Dangerous confidence is not in shouting louder than others. It's in standing tall while others shout at you, and you don't move. It's in choosing silence when others expect a storm. It's in showing that your emotions belong to you, not to anyone else. The next time someone tries to pull you into their drama, remember this. Silence is your shield. Silence is your strength. Silence is your power. Use it, and you'll discover just how unshakable you can be. Chapter 6. Let your body speak first. Before you ever open your mouth, your body is already telling the world who you are. People see how you walk, how you stand, how you sit, how you look at them. In just a few seconds, they've already formed an opinion, long before you've said a single word. That's the silent language of confidence, and it's often louder than anything you could say. If your words and body language don't match, people will always believe your body. You can say, "I'm confident," but if you're slouched over, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting with your hands, nobody buys it. On the other hand, you can say very little, but if your posture is strong, your eyes steady, your movements calm, people feel your presence. Letting your body speak first means you walk into a room like you belong there. You stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, head held high, not in arrogance but in quiet certainty. Your handshake is firm, not rushed. You make eye contact without flinching or darting away, and without apologizing for being seen. The mind and body are connected. If you sit small, you feel small. If you carry yourself like you're hiding, your mind starts to believe you should hide. But if you sit upright, expand your posture, and move with purpose, your mind receives the message, "I am strong. I am steady. I belong here." This isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about removing the signals that sabotage you. The hunched shoulders, the nervous fidgeting, the darting eyes. Those habits send messages you don't intend to send. Here's a practical tip. The next time you walk into a room, pause at the doorway. Take one calm breath. Straighten your posture. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your head slightly. Then walk in at a steady pace. No rush, no hurry, just presence. That single adjustment changes how people see you and how you see yourself. Another tip, practice holding eye contact, not in an aggressive way, but in a calm, steady way that says, "I see you, and I'm comfortable being seen." Most people break eye contact too quickly because they feel insecure. Train yourself to hold it just a second longer. That second communicates confidence without a word. When your body speaks confidence, you don't need to oversell yourself. People simply feel it. Dangerous confidence is not about shouting. It's about walking into a space with such quiet certainty that people can't ignore you, even if you never raise your voice. Your body tells the story before your mouth ever does. So let your body speak first. Walk tall. Sit steady. Look people in the eye. Move with intention. When your body communicates strength, I see me, your words only need to confirm what people already believe, that you are someone worth listening to. Chapter 7. Stop reacting. Start leading. Most people live their lives in reaction mode. Something happens, and they respond. Someone criticizes them, and they defend themselves. Someone disrespects them, and they snap back. Someone praises them, and suddenly they feel good again. Their emotions are constantly at the mercy of whatever comes their way. That's not confidence. That's dependency. As long as you're reacting, you're not leading. The person who reacts is always one step behind. They let the world dictate their mood, their energy, their choices. The person who leads sets the tone. They decide the direction. They don't wait to see what happens before they act. They create what happens. That's the difference between living as a follower of circumstance and living as the leader of your own life. When you react to everything, people learn how to control you. They know which words make you angry, which actions make you defensive, which silences make you insecure. But when you stop reacting, when you stay calm and steady, those same people lose their grip. They can't manipulate you anymore. Leading doesn't always mean leading others. It starts with leading yourself. It means choosing your actions instead of letting them be chosen for you. It means setting the pace instead of trying to keep up with someone else's. Ask yourself, what do I want to create here? Instead of, how should I respond to what just happened? Make it practical. In a meeting, someone challenges your idea. The reactive person defends themselves immediately. The leader pauses, listens, and calmly responds, or chooses not to respond at all and redirects the conversation back to the bigger picture. That single choice shifts the entire energy of the room. In relationships, when you're reacting, you're constantly adjusting to someone else's mood. If they're upset, you're upset. If they're happy, you're happy. But when you lead, you set the emotional tone. You stay steady, regardless of their swings. Often, they follow your calm instead of you following their chaos. Leadership is not about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself so completely that you influence everything around you. People naturally follow those who are steady and clear, those who are not tossed around by every little wave. So how do you shift from reacting to leading? Slow down. Don't give your emotions the driver's seat. Pause before you respond. Ask, what outcome do I want here, and how can I create it? That 1 second of thought can completely change your direction. Set intentions before situations even happen. If you're about to walk into a stressful environment, decide in advance. I will remain calm. I will speak clearly. I will not let anyone push me off balance. When you enter with that mindset, you lead the situation instead of reacting to it. Remember, leading isn't about proving yourself. It's about owning yourself. You don't have to win every argument. You don't have to control every detail. You just have to control you. That calm, centered control is magnetic. Dangerous confidence is born when you stop giving the world the power to dictate your actions. When you stop reacting to everything and start leading with intention, you rise above the noise. You stop playing defense and start directing the game. And once you make that shift, you're no longer at the mercy of life. Life is at the mercy of you. Chapter 8. Embrace discomfort until it feels normal. Confidence is not built in comfort. It's built in the uncomfortable places most people try to avoid. The moments that made you stronger were never the easy ones. They were the moments you felt nervous, unprepared, maybe even afraid, but you stepped forward anyway. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort. They choose what feels safe, what feels familiar, what doesn't stretch them too much. But if you always choose comfort, you never expand. You stay the same. You play small. And deep down, you know it. That's why so many people secretly feel insecure. Their lives contain no proof of their own strength. Confidence is not about telling yourself you're strong. It's about putting yourself in situations that show you that you are. When you embrace discomfort, you collect evidence. Every time you step into the unknown, every time you do something that scares you a little, you walk away with proof. I can handle this. The more proof you gather, the more unshakable you become. Discomfort doesn't go away. You never reach a point where life stops testing you. But you can train yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Instead of seeing discomfort as danger, you see it as training. Instead of running from it, you lean into it. What once terrified you begins to feel normal. Start small. Speak up in a meeting when you'd normally stay quiet. Start a conversation you'd normally avoid. Take on a challenge you'd usually decline. Every little push builds your capacity. Then go bigger. Take on goals that scare you, not because you might fail, but because they'll force you to grow. The gym teaches this principle clearly. If you only lift what's easy, you never build muscle. Growth happens when the weight is heavy, when your body shakes, when you feel the strain. Life works the same way. Your mental and emotional muscles grow under resistance. The more you embrace discomfort, the more resilient you become. You stop being afraid of failure because you've faced it before. You stop avoiding challenges because you've proven you can rise through them. The next time you feel fear, pause and reframe it. Instead of, I don't want to feel this, tell yourself, this is where I get stronger. Discomfort becomes your teacher, not your enemy. Dangerous confidence is not about living an easy life. It's about living a life that constantly stretches you, constantly grows you, constantly reminds you of your own power. Embrace discomfort. Seek it. Stay in it until it feels normal, because once you do, nothing the world throws at you will feel too big. You'll have trained yourself to thrive where others retreat. That's when people begin to notice that quiet, steady power in you, the kind of confidence that cannot be broken. Chapter 9. Speak less, command more. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people in the room are usually the quietest? They don't rush to fill every silence. They don't dominate the conversation with endless words. They wait. They listen. And when they finally speak, everyone leans in. That's not an accident. That's confidence. Most people talk too much because they're uncomfortable with silence. They're afraid that if they stop speaking, they'll lose attention, or worse, be forgotten. So they pile on words, explanations, stories, hoping to convince people of their worth. But the more you talk without purpose, the weaker your words become. Confidence is not about how much you say. It's about how much weight your words carry. To give your words weight, you must speak less and mean more. Slow down. Don't rush to answer every question. Take a moment. That pause alone communicates confidence. It shows you're not scrambling for approval. You're choosing your response. Trim the excess. Instead of long explanations, give simple, strong statements. Yes. No. That works for me. That doesn't work for me. Short, clear, firm. Listening makes you more powerful than speaking. Most people listen only to reply. Confident people listen to understand. When you really hear someone, you gather information. You understand their motives, their fears, their patterns. When you finally respond, your words are sharper because they're rooted in understanding. When you speak less, you give others space to reveal themselves. People often expose their insecurities and intentions when you simply let them keep talking. Meanwhile, you stay calm, observant, and in control. Here's your challenge. Over the next few days, practice cutting your words in half. When you're tempted to explain yourself, shorten it. When you want to fill silence, hold it. When you feel the urge to prove something with words, stop and let your presence do the talking. You'll notice people start leaning in. They'll respect your words more because you don't throw them around carelessly. Dangerous confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't ramble. It doesn't beg to be heard. It speaks less and commands more. Chapter 10. Turn rejection into power. Rejection. Just the word makes most people uncomfortable. No one likes hearing no. But rejection is one of the most powerful tools for building confidence if you learn how to use it. The difference between people who crumble under rejection and people who rise from it is simple: perspective. Most people take rejection personally. They hear no and think, "I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. I should give up." They attach rejection to their identity instead of seeing it for what it is: feedback, redirection, a test. Rejection doesn't exist to destroy you. It exists to sharpen you. Some of the most successful people in history faced rejection over and over. Authors had their books turned down before they became bestsellers. Entrepreneurs had their ideas laughed at before they built empires. Athletes were cut from teams before they became legends. Rejection didn't destroy them. It built them. It thickened their skin. It sharpened their skill. It fueled their drive. Rejection is not the end of your path. It's the sharpening stone for your confidence. Stop asking, "Why me?" Start asking, "What can I take from this?" Did rejection reveal a weakness to work on? Did it push you to try a new approach? Did it show you who was never truly for you? Rejection stings because it pokes at our pride, but that sting is what wakes you up. You cannot build real confidence in a life where everyone always says yes. That would only give you fragile confidence, the kind that shatters the first time life tells you no. Dangerous confidence comes from being rejected and still standing tall. Face rejection, expect it, welcome it. If you're never being told no, you're not aiming high enough. Detach rejection from your worth. A no to your idea or request is not a no to your value as a person. Use rejection as fuel. Let it push you, not to prove others wrong, but to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Every no brings you closer to the right yes. Every door that closes forces you to find a better one. Rejection clears the path for what is meant for you, if you keep walking. The person who is no longer afraid of rejection is unstoppable. Chapter 11. Detach from outcomes. One of the strongest moves you can make in life is learning to let go of the outcome. Most people tie their self-worth to results. If things go well, they feel good. If things fall apart, they feel broken. Their emotions rise and fall like a roller coaster because they're attached to what happens next. Confidence comes when you detach from outcomes and anchor yourself in who you are, not in what happens. Attachment keeps you paralyzed. You don't apply for the job because you fear rejection. You don't speak up because you worry about reactions. You don't take risks because you're obsessed with the possibility of failure. When you detach, you stop obsessing over whether people will like it, accept it, or applaud it. You give your best effort and let the result take care of itself. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop chaining your identity to the result. You control your effort, attitude, and preparation, and release the rest. The outcome is feedback, not a definition. The more you cling, the weaker you feel. The moment you say, "Whatever happens, I'll be fine," you gain strength. You act with more calm, more focus, more certainty, and that's usually when you perform your best. Detach from outcomes. Give your best. Let go of the rest. That's where a new level of freedom begins. Chapter 12. Set boundaries without apology. Confidence is not only about how you act in public, it's also about how you protect yourself in private. One of the clearest signs of true confidence is the ability to set boundaries and hold them without apology, without guilt, without flinching. Boundaries are not walls. They are lines that protect your time, your energy, and your self-respect. If you don't set them, the world will gladly run right over you. People will always take as much as you allow. If you give unlimited time, they'll take it. If you let them interrupt you, they'll keep doing it. If you never say no, they'll expect yes forever. Confidence means you know your value, and when you know your value, you protect it. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you strong. You don't need to justify your boundaries. No is a complete sentence. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available. I've decided not to do that. Short, calm, unapologetic. People may not always like your boundaries, but they will learn to respect them. The right people will honor them. The wrong people will expose themselves by fighting them. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're about protecting your space so you can give your best to what truly matters. Set your boundaries. Hold them firm. Never apologize for respecting yourself. Chapter 13. Stand calm in chaos. Confidence isn't truly tested when things are going well. The real test is how you carry yourself when chaos hits. Most people panic. They rush. They overreact. They let fear drive every move. The ones who stand out are those who stay calm. They slow down when everyone else speeds up. They breathe when everyone else holds their breath. They keep their voice steady when everyone else is shouting. Their calmness is contagious. Chaos doesn't break people. Their reaction to it does. If you get swept into the storm, you lose control. If you anchor yourself in calm, you take control back. Start with your breathing. Slow, steady breaths tell your body, I am not in danger. I am in control. Move at a deliberate pace. Rushing creates mistakes. Mistakes create more chaos. Keep your tone low and grounded. You don't have to have all the answers. Your calm is the answer. Every time you stay centered in chaos, you prove something powerful to yourself. Storms don't break you. They reveal you. Be the calm in the room. That's where true confidence shines. Chapter 14. Train until skill becomes certainty. Confidence is not magic. It's not just mindset. Real lasting confidence is built on competence. When you know you've put in the work, when you've trained until something is second nature, you stop hoping you're good enough and start knowing you are. You don't wait to feel confident to act. You act again and again until your actions create confidence. Repetition turns fear into familiarity, but not just any repetition. Intentional repetition. Half-hearted effort doesn't build confidence. Pushing through discomfort does. When you know you've prepared deeply, you walk into any room differently. You don't need to brag about it. It's visible in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you respond under pressure. Skill builds belief. Train until you no longer say, I think I can. Train until you can calmly say, I know I can. That's dangerous confidence. Chapter 15. Live as if you need nothing. The ultimate level of confidence is when you live as if you need nothing, not because you don't enjoy success, recognition, or relationships, but because you're not dependent on them. When your worth, your peace, and your identity no longer hinge on what others give or take away, you step into a freedom most people never experience. Most people live in constant need. They need approval to feel secure. They need attention to feel important. They need results to feel proud. And because they chase. They chase validation, applause, and things that slip through their hands the moment they grab them. But imagine walking through life without that hunger. You pursue your goals not to complete yourself, but to express who you already are. You enjoy success, but are not defined by it. You enjoy relationships, but are not owned by them. Living as if you need nothing doesn't make you cold. It makes you unbreakable, because no one can use your neediness against you. Need is weakness. Wholeness is power. Build yourself so strongly on the inside that if everything external disappears, you remain. That is dangerous confidence at its peak. And now, you've reached the end of this journey. But the truth is, this isn't really an ending. It's the beginning of a different version of you. A version that doesn't collapse under pressure. A version that doesn't seek approval. A version that no longer reacts to everything and everyone. A version that finally understands that real confidence is quiet, steady, and unshakable. If even one idea in this audiobook shifted something inside you, if one sentence made you sit up straighter, if one moment made you breathe deeper, if one chapter made you rethink the way you carry yourself, then don't let this be the last step. Keep going. Keep building that inner strength. Keep choosing calm over chaos, intention over reaction, and presence over noise. And before you leave, if this journey added something to your day, take a moment to stay connected with the channel, not for me, but for you, because the next chapters, the next lessons, the next shifts in mindset, they're coming, and I want you to be there when they arrive. So tap that subscribe button, not as a favor, but as a promise to yourself that you're committed to becoming stronger, calmer, and more unshakable every single day. And if you felt something in this audiobook, go ahead and give this video a like. It helps this message reach someone out there who might need it more than you know. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing growth. And remember, the world cannot shake a mind that refuses to react. Stay steady. Stay focused. Stay untouchable. Until the next chapter.